Okay, we're gonna take a walk down through the woods again. This is May 15th or something like that, middle of May. And got a nice cool morning. A couple of mornings ago, I had Calvin and Floyd come by and they helped me with a pole saw to cut a little bit larger canopy height on the trail so that the drone wouldn't get caught up in the branches and leaves and so forth. Again, there's no side sensor on this drone, so it could miss things, and that's kind of why it gets confused at times. The reason they don't put a side sensor in is because it just cuts down on the battery life, and they want to preserve battery life and move on from there. I'm recording this live as I'm walking instead of a voiceover afterwards, and so you'll hear me huffing and puffing at some point once my heart rate gets up. All right, the drone's doing a good job of following me right now. It made that turn right there. Kind of unsteady on my feet here. The obstacle avoidance and automatic pilot assistance system do a good job of totally automating this thing. I'm not having to fly or anything with this drone. It's doing it all itself. And so we've got a pretty good ceiling here that the drone can stay up high most of the time with. I can hear the drone. You can probably hear it on my microphone too. And so I look down at the screen from time to time, but mostly I'm just kind of listening for it to, if it's going to have trouble with something. But I think this new having cut down, you can see these branches right here and over here that I cut down. Those will die off or dry up at some point, and those are made it a lot higher to come through here. And we've cut branches down right over there. You can see these, should be able to see these leaves right here. And this is a little tricky spot to get through. It's got this cedar tree leaning over in the trail. But I think it does a pretty good job of getting through there. You can hear the controller beeping. Those are signals from the drone that it's detecting obstacles. I guess I could turn that down if I figured out how to do that. But that would be okay. All right, so the drone turned around a corner there. It made it past. Here's another corner that always seems to be tricky. And I think one of the problems is I was stopping before because I was worried about it. I think the secret on some of this is just to keep going and it'll figure it out. Just let it go. All right, we're walking uphill now. So you'll hear me breathing hard. This will be my exercise for the day. I've got to go run a few errands a little bit later, so I'll be walking around doing some of that. And as long as my heart rate gets up above 96 or something like that, I forget what the, all right, looks like it's No, it's following me. The drone sounded like it was getting a little more silent. But it was just waiting back there. All right, we're still going uphill. So I think making this box around the trail so that we got enough width and enough height is the key to making it so that the drone can fly and follow me well. It tries to maintain the same angle above me, excuse me, and the same distance from me as I'm walking here. But it will go down below something or go around something. Okay, that's a limb that's got to come down. It was a little bit too high. I'm going to drop it down a little bit. All right. Could you hear that hitting the tree? Or hitting those leaves? It doesn't have an upward sensor or a side sensor. It's got front sensors and back sensors and bottom sensors. And that's about it. And it really, the only thing it does with the camera, as far as tracking me, I mean the camera is what's used to track me, to keep its eye on me, so to speak. But the sensors are what it uses for obstacle avoidance and APAS system. So it probably put a few nicks in the propellers, but the leaves seem to be okay. It's the twigs in the wintertime that you can't see the leaves. I mean, there are no leaves to be seen, so it's got to make it around that. So the drone lost me for a second there, but it found me. And we're going downhill now. And by the way, sometimes downhill is just as hard as uphill because you got to put the brakes on the whole way. And with my knees and hips, it's some wear and tear. I really love coming on these hikes back here though. There'll be a day someday when I won't be able to do it, but I'll have these videos to be able to see it. Oh, now the sun is shining in the drone, directly in the drone, and it can't see me anymore. So. All right, so now it should be able to see me. I'm going to go left a little bit. Apparently, the way the sun angle was hitting it was directly blinding the camera. So we'll see if this makes it work. So that didn't have anything to do with the canopy of leaves. It had to do with the sunlight. Shining directly in the sun, and it just was blinded by the light. Obviously it's morning and the sun's coming from the east, and it is directly in front of me. So that's something to remember. All right, we cut down quite a few taller limbs in this area, and I see some limbs above me here. I wonder if it'll move down a little bit. Yeah, it did. So the obstacle avoidance worked in that case. I don't think the camera was looking directly at the sun. I think that it was the glare on the camera lens that was causing it. Because the sun was directly in front of us, but up higher. So it wouldn't have been looking up. Okay, we're coming back to this turn, or to the point in the trail where we have already been in this walk. We're going to return the direction that we came from, and I'm just going to keep on walking and let it figure out how to follow me, and it does. I do have some insurance on this drone that DJI lets you pay a little extra for in case you crash a drone or whatever. It still costs you to replace it, but at a much reduced price if it's totally broken. Otherwise they'll repair it and send it back. I think as drones go, this Mavic Air 2 is a pretty quiet drone, relatively speaking. I'm just still amazed at how far they've come with this. Obviously it's going to get even better as they build newer drones. This is the waterfall right here, a big cliff down there. And so we'll be going this way. Let's see how it does. All right, yep, it did. No. Come down, drone. You got leaves above you. I've been looking at this Mavic, the DJI Air 2S, and it's the next generation out, and it's supposed to have even better tracking abilities. Look at the battery life. We're 51% battery left. That ought to be plenty enough for us to finish this hike. And normally I would go back around this trail the opposite direction. I'd go up this hill we're going to come to in just a minute here and walk it backwards. The combination of those two and the little walk All right, so that drone cheated and didn't go the path. It kind of went around. I shouldn't say it cheated as if it's a person, but it made a decision. That was the easiest way to follow me. And all right, this is always a tricky section here at the bridge. Sometimes I go up that way, and I'm going to go straight here because we did clean these leaves out quite a bit here. All right, it seemed to make it. Autonomous flight. That's an amazing thing. All the algorithms they have to program into these drones. Looks like it's staying low here pretty well. Once I moved it down a little bit. Up another hill here. Whew. Coming from the creek back up to the level of the house is a pretty good climb. It gets my heart rate going pretty good. All right, here's the field, and I see limbs encroaching out on the field, so I'm gonna walk down the center of it this time instead of just around. I'll walk down and back. I guess you can hear me breathing. I would look at my watch, but oh, you know what? That's one thing I forgot. I forgot to turn my exercise mode on. You have to remember to turn on both recorders, the drone recorder, the microphone recorder, but I forgot to turn on the exercise recorder. So this will give me some credit, but not as much as the time took here. So I'll probably go for a short bicycle ride this afternoon or something. Or maybe all the errands I've got to run will be enough to deal with that. All right, come on, drone. You can find me. Okay. I've got the sun behind me now. Oh, these leaves are low here. I'm gonna come down. All right, it flew up under them just fine. And I see some more leaves coming up. The branch overhanging here, it's very low, but it's, I think, down at my height now. As low it goes, so it should go under these leaves with no problem. And I think it has. So being able to control the height helps quite a bit. The drone is stuck because okay, active track. Trace. All right, come on, drone. Alright, it doesn't think I'm a person. Let me get here in the sunlight. The shadow and sunlight are kind of making it difficult for the drone because it goes from bright to a lot less bright. Alright, we're almost finished with this. This is the last hill. Mm. 26% battery left in the drone. That was a workout. Yeah. All right. Turn off the active track and move the drone forward a little bit.